Hi guys, this is Rebecca Robeson from Robeson Design Studio in San Diego, and I have a special guest with me today, my son, Scott. A lot of you know him from his channel, and he did make a surprise appearance, a guest appearance last week. Yeah. But we have something kind of like good news and bad news to share with you today on this Monday. The bad news is there's still no Makeover Monday video.
But it is a Manic Monday.
It's a Manic Monday for sure.
Cher's always with us.
It is 3:15 a.m. in the morning. We're actually going to go on a trip to see my parents in Oregon, and that's why I don't have a video this week. I make my videos on the weekends, and because we had to make this emergency trip to Oregon at last minute, I was unable to do it, and I apologize for that. But I have really good news, and that is I'm going to show you a video that is so awesome. It's not made yet, is it?
No. Because
he's gonna make it, and that's why we're awake at 3:30 in the morning. Because we have to film this before we get on the airplane at 6. And what I'm gonna show you is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time, but the timing just hasn't been right. It's right now, right?
It's very ripe.
It's very ripe, yeah. So here's the video. It's gonna be of Scott's many different apartments and condominiums since he's been out on his own and lived away from the house. And it was prompted by a really cool thing that happened. Someone left me a comment one time and she said, I just would love to have a beautiful house, but my dad's in the military, and because he's in the military, we travel. We never live anywhere longer than 2 years. And I just felt really bad for her because essentially she's living in this sense of temporary. Life is temporary for her because she doesn't feel like if she's going to be there 2 years, that's long enough to decorate. And I totally disagree. And Scott would too. He's lived in 5 different homes besides ours. And he's been back and forth to ours in between sometimes. But he's lived in 5 different homes and many times for less than 2 years.
He can't quite seem to make it on his own. He's struggling.
He's a yo-yo child.
I was traveling when I was dancing, and that's why I traveled a lot. And then I also moved around just because, I don't know, I was 21 years old. I'm sorry I didn't buy a house at 21.
The purpose of this video is one thing, but it's going to be fun getting there. The purpose is to show you that if you purchase furniture correctly, you can use the same pieces over and over again, even your art and your accessories, to make, well, not a completely different look, but it can be really flexible. And that's what we did with Scott. So here's the setup for the story. When Scott was 18 and had finished high school, he auditioned for an all-male troupe dancing team that traveled around the world. Problem was, he needed to move to Vancouver, Washington. And I don't even think you were 18 yet. You were still 17, weren't you?
That was the problem. I had to move to Vancouver, Washington.
Well, it was a problem for me because he was only 17.
It all went downhill from there.
Well, that's true.
He became pale, he lost all his friends, and gave up hope on life.
I just want you to know that all the things he says do not reflect me. You know, this channel, what's that thing they say on things?
The apple doesn't even fall off the tree.
That is not what I was talking about. When he came to me and said, Mom, I want to move to Washington, can I? I said, yes. So here's what we did. We got on the internet, we found an apartment, just by going on Google, we found an apartment for him that we could afford and it was in a good area. And we downloaded the blueprints. We got the floor plan. I took it, and you know what I do. I drew right on top of the floor plan, well, you're going to need a sofa here and some end tables here and a bed here. And we had a few things in the garage. Me as a designer, I always have leftover few things here and there. And so we together took our little blueprint down to Ikea. And I had an idea in my mind of how much I wanted to spend. It was much less than I did spend. Usually it is. I mean, what was in my mind was less than what I did spend.
She's like, let's design on a budget. I'm like, those 2 words shouldn't be in the same sentence. Pull out the black card, Mama.
Do not have a black card.
It's purple.
We went to Ikea and we identified the pieces that he wanted. And honestly, it fit within my budget. I put together, we got this list, we bought a gift card for that amount. And Scott took his truck, he loaded it up with a few things that he was taking from here, and he drove all the way up to Washington State.
A few things. Let me just tell you, this looked like the Swiss Family Robinson bus with like stuff strapped on back of it.
That was the Partridge Family.
Oh, well, one of them.
The Swiss Family Robinson was a
one of those white trash families.
I didn't read to him much when he was little. And he doesn't read now.
Or feed me when I was little. which is why I'm 3 pounds. So I got in my truck and everything was packed up. And of course, just as a little side note, I wanted a Jetta when I was in high school, but she made me drive a big lifted truck.
I didn't want him to look gay.
The antibiotics didn't kick in. I'm still homosexual.
I was trying.
Trust me, Britney Spears sounded fabulous blasting out of that car. So I drove up to pick up my roommate, and I had already packed the entire truck full of stuff. But he had some stuff too, so we had to pull up the tarp.
Can you imagine? He had things he wanted to bring. I hate when that happens.
I'm sorry, this wasn't a part of the agreement. The truck was weighing down on the back. Like this thing was like a California Lift lowrider. Like it looked really gangster.
I need to call.
Are you struggling with COPD? Call now. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder.
So he gets there and he unpacks what he has and he gets in his car and he drives to the Ikea up there, buys everything, brings it back, and calls me. He stays up for 24 hours beyond that, putting absolutely everything together that night. I was so proud of him. It was a very decorative moment, my child, my son. So what we're going to show you are the main pieces that we bought for that apartment. So we're going to show you the before pictures and then the after. And then I'm going to continue to show you the next the next 4 after that, 5 total apartments or condominiums that Scott's lived in where we've gone in, and I say we loosely. Actually, he's actually getting really good at it. By apartment number 5, he pretty much did it by himself.
I like how she plays it off. Like she's just always bent over backwards and just jumped right into the project. I've had to pull her by her hair.
Who bought that
into
truck?
Every single house. That broke down on the side of the highway.
Who paid for that gas?
Not you.
And the lifestyle to be able to travel around the world for a couple of years. I'm sorry, this is so long. We're going to get to the pictures in a minute here, and you're going to get to see Scott's place. What I'd like you to do is tell me which one you like the best. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. We'd love to hear your opinion on which place was the best. Don't say 5 because he kind of did it mostly himself. And this is my channel. When you're on his channel, you can say 5. When you're on my channel, pick one of the ones I did.
Just say number 3.
I taught him everything.
Just say number 3 and 2 together. She doesn't do math. She won't get it. Right up over her head.
That is so not nice.
That is so not nice.
So not nice. Seriously, we have to get ready to take off for the airport in a few minutes.
I think the plane already took off.
Probably. After you told that big long story, it probably did.
Either that or after the 5 times she reset the camera, picked new lighting, and redecorated the office. Just saying. Just saying. Scratch your eyes out.